Welcome back to another episode of Down at 216, hosted by your boy Will here, man. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling today as we get into another interesting video topic? Now, look, I'm a little tired, but still had to get some content out for y'all, man. So I wanted to come and bring up this video. Just one of the ideas I had written down. I wanted to bring up a topic and an idea to y'all. We go over and we talk about Joe Flacco a lot. We talk about Joe Flacco a lot, and with Joe Flacco, it's assumed that he's going to be good or subpar or be the same Joe Flacco that he was when he played for the Cleveland Browns and he had that run, you know, when Deshaun Watson went down, we had Joe Flacco come out, look pretty good, won comeback player of the year, led the Browns to the playoffs and lost in the playoffs to the Houston Texans. So with that all being said, can we expect the same results from Joe Flacco if we really look deeper into it? I feel like the biggest thing that is kind of overblown with Joe Flacco did, and I hate to kind of be that guy that comes in the room and pops the little air out the balloon, you know what I'm saying? But he kind of did it against a weak schedule. You know, you played the Chicago Bears, the Jaguars, the Texans with Davis Mills. Like, yeah, he came in balling. I think the defense wasn't expecting him to play that well. And, you know, he came out there, played good, and played comfortable in the system that he was used to. Now, I don't think that means that Joe Flacco will continue that for an 18-game season against top defenses. No, I do not. So what can we expect from Joe Flacco? If you look at his 8 games that he played with the Indianapolis Colts last year before he was replaced by Anthony Richardson, he had just over 100 more yards than he had in the 5 games that he played with the Cleveland Browns. So you know what that tells me is it kind of tells me that has a little bit to do with the strength of schedule. You didn't have to play those crazy, tough defensive games. Even though the Browns kind of played well all year. But I will give, Deshaun Watson some credit. He did play good at the start of the year, so it's not going to just be entirely on the defense like some people try to make it out to be. Anyways, to get to the point, I think Joe Flacco will be a little bit worse than what he really was. And I think it's kind of unrealistic to expect that he'll be the same Joe Flacco that he used to be for a couple reasons. One, because defense is going to be able to sit back, watch film on what he put out there last year. They're going to be able to sit back and dissect and see what weaknesses he has. Not to mention Joe Flacco isn't getting better no time soon. I love Joe. Joe cool. This video is sponsored by Detrimental Figures, my brand here. As y'all see, some of the quality of my recent work. You get a signature tag on it as well. You know, we make and really emphasize quality over quantity. So we try to take and make sure we use the best materials to come up with our shirts and the best designs. Make sure y'all following us on Instagram, Detrimental Figures. So y'all can also get the description down below and hit the link for a shirt. Everything I drop is limited edition. So unfortunately, this shirt is sold out. I don't have any more, but I have different things coming up similar to it. So keep in mind, and I'll keep you guys updated with some of my new stuff throughout these videos coming up. Me and Joe Flacco actually share a birthday. That's my birthday twin. So I rock with Joe. That's my dog. But Joe is 40. We gonna call a spade a spade. You know, that's one of my favorite sayings to say on here. We gonna call a spade a spade. He's not getting better no time soon. He getting worse by the day. We gonna say what it is. So I don't see it being likely that Joe Flacco, go out there and play 18 games. With this Cleveland Browns team, not to mention this offensive line is suspect as hell. And I love my team, I love my big dogs, DeJuan Jones, Wyatt Teller, Batonio, Jack. I love my team, but even Pochich. But, this offensive line is kind of suspect. He is 40 years old, going to be 41 by the end of the year. And, expecting Joe Flacco to survive 18 games, that offensive line is kind of, a tall task to ask without him getting hurt one time, And not to mention, every quarterback and like I said, I love my team, but I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Every quarterback the Cleveland Browns has got hurt. Y'all haven't noticed that yet? Like, they've all gotten hurt. Deshaun Watson, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Jameis Winston got hurt, Jacoby Brissett got hurt, Baker Mayfield got hurt, The only person that didn't get hurt was Joe Flacco. He only played 5 games. I think Josh Dobbs maybe even with a caught an injury. I think it's unrealistic to expect Joe Flacco to make it 18 games, man. I really think it is. What you guys think? Y'all think I'm overplaying it and being harsh? Do you guys, another question I want to ask y'all, man. Do y'all feel like that Joe Flacco would have made it the full season had he played the last time? Well, he did play 6 games. If you include that 6 game, his numbers don't look too well. If you include that 3 interception game, but we ain't gonna include that, you know. But I would expect Joe Flacco probably within 10 games to have about 16 touchdowns, 10 picks, 11 picks, probably about like 1,900 yards, 2K, between 1,800 and 2, probably like 2,100 at the max. If he was to play about 10 games through the season. So we're going to see. It's going to be real interesting. What do you guys think the leash should be for Joe Flacco or for any of these starting quarterbacks? You know, if it's Kenny Pickett, what do you think the leash should be? So would you expect him to kind of be on, you know, like maybe like he can't throw 3 interceptions, or is it going to be situational? Is it going to be based off the 2-minute drill? Like, what is going to be the leash? Because if it's already a quarterback competition, we got to know, like, just being QB1 isn't that big of a deal because it's not even no real QB1. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, where does hey, okay, we're going to shut that off. Hey, okay, Joe, go home. You know what I'm saying? Dylan, go. What do they have to do to get to that point? And then who do they turn to? Because I think we all forgetting that it's kind of unrealistic to expect one of these guys not to get benched. Like, are we really expecting Kenny Pickett to make it a whole season without having one down moment? Are we really expecting Joe Flacco to not have one down moment? Like, I don't know, man. Y'all tell me what y'all think, man. I think it's going to be very interesting. Over-under for Joe Flacco game started, we're going to say, this is the big question. Over-under for Joe Flacco game started, we're going to say 10.5. What y'all say? 11 games for Joe Flacco, 10.5, over-under. You going to say over or under? Comment down below. But y'all make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. It's your boy, Will. I'm out.